Now at 6, a coalition of Missouri counties takes up a legal battle against the Missouri Tax Commission. Plus, the looming threat of a government shutdown and how we could feel the impact right here in this area. And auto parts shops in southwest Missouri see a rise in prices and counterfeit parts.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Coffeyville, Kansas is mourning the death of a teenager, a victim in a crash involving a high-speed chase. This is KOAM News. I'm Dow Quick. It's follow-up to a crash that occurred last Friday afternoon in Coffeyville at the intersection of East 8th Street and Patterson Boulevard. Authorities now say 15-year-old Serafina O'Connell has died at the hospital from injuries suffered in that crash. Investigators say the crash occurred as police were chasing a northbound Jeep. The chase began in Oklahoma before crossing into Kansas. The Jeep failed to yield at a stoplight and crashed into an SUV, causing both vehicles to overturn. O'Connell was a passenger in that second vehicle. Authorities in Kansas today charged the Jeep driver, Tanisha Mayberry, with murder in the first degree and the commission of a felony. Oklahoma charges against Mayberry include assault and battery on a police officer, endangering others while eluding police, and larceny from a retailer. The passenger in the Jeep, Cortez Watson Jr., is charged with larceny of merchandise from a retailer and obstructing an officer in Oklahoma. He's facing drug-related charges in Kansas. You can find more on this case on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for our first look at the weather.
Temperatures today dropped back down into the low 80s. We had some cloudy skies, which did keep us a couple of degrees cooler. Now you can see, taking a look outside 32nd and Range Line, we still have quite a few clouds out there. Those are going to continue overnight tonight, which actually keeps us a few degrees warmer tonight. We're only getting down to the low 60s, with the lowest being just about 60 degrees. After we head through this evening, most of these clouds are going to push out towards the east northeast, and we're back to clear skies as we head into Wednesday morning. So you can see how all the clouds are continuing to push out towards the northwest. Temperatures again only getting down to the low 60s tonight. Heading into Wednesday, our high for the day is several degrees warmer, into the upper 80s, 85, 86, even 87. I'm going to have a full look forecast coming up.
Catch in a few. Newton County joins 5 other counties in a legal battle against the Missouri State Tax Commission. This comes after the commission began withholding hundreds of thousands of dollars from counties, refusing to comply with its request to raise property values by 10 to 15%. The commission says Newton County and dozens of other counties assess property below market value, violating state law. When a handful of counties refused to comply, the commission withheld assessment maintenance funds. The lawsuit claims the commission's actions are outside of their authority. The counties want the court to block the commission from enforcing the changes and withholding state funds. You can read the full lawsuit on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. In a few hours, if Congress does not come to an agreement, the federal government's going to shut down. Republicans want a 7-week extension, but Democrats are holding out for health care subsidies. While essential services like the military will continue, thousands of federal workers could be furloughed. KOAM's Blake Gully shows us how this political standoff could affect the 4 states.
If Congress fails to reach a deal by midnight, many federally funded programs in the 4 states will continue for now. Essential employees like TSA agents and air traffic controllers will still be required to work. Programs like SNAP and WIC will remain funded temporarily, but uncertainty grows as the shutdown deadline approaches. Here at the George Washington Carver National Monument, a government shutdown could close the gates. Without a passed budget, most national park staff are furloughed, leaving parks like this one without people to keep it open.
This shutdown will be really extremely difficult for me personally, as well as I think the U.S. citizens, because these are, for the most part, free for most people to come into. And, you know, we take away that access to information and about our history and culture. And I think that's extremely saddening to me, because we must know our history.
Missouri Congressman Eric Burleson places the blame on Democrats. In a statement, he said most Missourians will not experience a significant impact from a government shutdown. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and essential public safety services will continue. House Republicans passed a clean continuing resolution to keep the government open, but Democrats are blocking it while demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending. Democrats, meanwhile, argue the funding is necessary to extend health care programs and protect essential services. Reporting in Joplin, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are still distributed during shutdowns, but there could be some slowdowns. Auto repair shops across the region report rising costs for quality parts due to tariffs. Shop owners say they're seeing more counterfeit and low-quality parts that could damage vehicles. As of May 3rd, vehicle parts face reciprocal duties under U.S. Customs and Border Protection rules. Parts from Germany and Japan now carry a 37.5% tariff rate, while South Korean parts face 27.5% duties. We're going to have more on this story for you tonight on KOAM News at 10. A new head coach means a new start for Labette County's football program. Ryan's going to have details on how the Grizzlies plan to make this a great season. That's coming up. But up first, phones go quiet in Oklahoma schools. The reasons why, up next. All Oklahoma schools have moved to a bell-to-bell, no cell phone policy. That means no phones at lunch, no phones between classes. KOAM's Ty Parks takes us to Miami to see how the students are doing without the distraction.
With that sound, all phones in Oklahoma schools must be turned off and stored in a bag. The new state law requires all cell phones to be put away from the time of the first bell to the end of the school day. This is a policy that Miami schools was considering.
In our junior high, we hadn't allowed students to have their cell phones at all. But then once they became sophomores, we had allowed them to start having them at lunch and in between passing periods. So we had talked about the possibility of just let's not give them back.
Without the distraction of cell phones, there has been some changes in how students interact.
In class, I think we're seeing a lot less distractions, more focused learning on academics, which is a good thing. They still are one-to-one with Chromebooks, so they have the technology that they need. I know at one point that was kind of the argument for having cell phones, is that connection to technology.
One notable change is there is less drama.
From the discipline side, some of those pieces are people texting things to each other, and you can't see emotion with a text. And so we're having more face-to-face conversations, people engaging with each other a little bit better.
They're starting to relearn body language and context clues all over again.
I think this has allowed kids to be kids again. They're talking to one another, they're engaging in ways that they haven't in a long time. Actually, when you go into the lunchroom, they're actually having conversations, and that's what we want. We want kids to be able to communicate and to be able to make connections outside of technology.
In Miami, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Now, in the event of an emergency, the law does allow for the schools to give an announcement allowing students to use their phones to contact their parents. A little bit later, Kansas City celebrates a big win over the weekend, but the day was even more special for one chief.
And we have even warmer temperatures in store for us for the rest of the week. I'll have those details right after this. We had some cloudy skies out there today. Now we can go ahead and take a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Those clouds are still sticking around through this evening and into overnight. That's going to be good news for us. It actually keeps us a couple of degrees warmer tonight, so you have a pretty mild evening. Now, current temperatures 82 in Joplin, 80 in Neosho, still 85 in Miami, 84 in Grove, 83 up in Stockton. We are still pretty warm today, but we're going to be even warmer as we head into Wednesday. With our high temperature, because of that sunshine, we're back up to the upper 80s, 85, 86 degrees. Some of us even getting up to 87, maybe 88. That's going to come into Friday as well, all the way through Friday. Now you can see clouds out there still over most of the area, but those are going to be pushing out of the region, out to the northeast here in the next several hours. They started to move in because of this shortwave trough. Now you can see it's not a actual low pressure system. It's just this little wave that gets pushed through the area. Didn't bring us any rain chances, but it just did bring us a line of clouds. Again, all of that's on the way out of here, and we're back to pretty decent weather, even though it's going to be a bit warm as we head into October. All right, 60 degrees through Wednesday morning, 61 in Nevada, 62 at the 88 Center. So really none of us are dropping back down into the upper 50s for the next couple of days. We're going to be only getting down to the low 60s. We still have those southeasterly winds. Not much is changing over the next couple of days. By noon, we're back up into the low to mid 80s. Some of us still in the upper 70s, 78 in Monette, 79 in Bella Vista. And then for the high of the day, mid 80s across the board. Again, 86 in Joplin, but 85 Caney, Parsons, Veneta, 81 in Yates Center. Now, clear skies continue, but we could see an isolated shower chance or two out in the far western counties through Thursday morning. Temperatures yet again are going to be starting in the low 60s. By 11 a.m., we're already in the low 80s in Joplin, 82, 80 in Nevada, some of us 79, Miami, Veneta, Parsons, with the high getting up to the mid to upper 80s yet again. The next couple of days, we're seeing these temperatures continue to slowly climb, just a couple of degrees each day, and the sunshine finally returns after a pretty cloudy day today. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies through the weekend, so overall, pretty nice weather. Above average temperatures, though, with highs in the upper 80s until Saturday and Sunday. We're getting back to the low 80s by then. Still above average, though, and little to no rain chances until the start of next week, where we really have a pretty long dry spell, lots of sunshine, which is going to be nice, but above average temperatures until we get into next Wednesday. 78 is about average, but we warm right back up to the low 80s yet again right after that. We do have some isolated storm chances, which are going to cool us down a bit, but we're not seeing seasonable temperatures until about a week or two. We got a couple of weeks before it actually starts to feel like October.
Won't that be nice when it arrives, though?
Yes, it
Waiting
will.
for some crisp, cool days.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Lindsay. Still ahead, the Chiefs are coming off a big win over the Baltimore Ravens, but prior to Sunday's win, one star player put his family first. We're going to have details of that coming up. And the Labette County Grizzlies are off to a strong start to the season with a first-year head coach. We're going to hear from the team straight ahead.
2025 marks the start of a new era for Labette County football with a new head coach. But despite a fresh face leading the program with different styles of play, the Grizzlies are off to a strong start, even making history along the way. The Labette County Grizzlies have a new man at the helm, a name that is familiar to the community, as longtime assistant coach Bradley Argabright has taken over at head coach.
I've known these kids. I've also been the basketball head coach for 7 years, the track head coach for 4 years here. So I've known these kids, and that was just an easy transition coming into football. So I've done the offense in the past, and I'm still doing the offense now for this team. So, it was an easy adjustment. The kids were excited. All those relationships were there, so it was just a very smooth transition.
It was pretty easy getting transition to him. Everybody loves him. He's been here. He's been assistant there for a while in football. So if you've been around football, you've known him. So I think it was pretty easy, yeah.
He just has a really good relationship with all 18 of us, all of the younger guys too. We all have him in PE, all of his classes. He's just super energetic. I love him. He's always here in practice. He always brings energy. He's never a dull moment with Argabright. I love him.
The start of this new chapter in Grizzlies football has been met with success, as Labette County is off to their best start in over 2 decades, with a 3-1 record highlighted by their first ever win over Pittsburgh High.
I'm excited for the kids. I'm excited for the community right now. The support right now is tremendous. We've had tremendous support on both of our last home games, and it's just building right now. So it's exciting for not only our football team, but for our community. We beat Pittsburgh for the first time. That was just a huge win for not only our team, but everyone involved around that. They told me it was 1965 was the first time we started playing, and for us to get that win, in 2025, it is a huge accomplishment for our kids. To get those guys and get them at our home field was really special for our kids.
The keys to the Grizzlies' hot start have come from the top, with new offensive and defensive schemes, paired with an emphasis to have the best players on the field at all times.
We've done some different things. In the past, we've been primarily in shotgun, and now we're kind of under center. Done some different things defensively, schematically, and then just playing some guys 2 ways. In the past, we've kind of played guys 1 way, and this year we made some adjustments. We're just trying to get the best kids we can on the field to give us the best chance to win on Friday nights.
I like playing both sides of the ball. A lot of us do. I think we got probably 8 or 9 guys playing both sides of the ball, and we're just going to put the best at each position because we don't have enough to play, to only one way. So I like going to platoon.
I love the new defensive line scheme. I love that. I love having one extra guy. It makes it so much easier. the under center. I love just pounding the ball and then making teams honor the pass. I mean, yeah, they got to load the box in and then stop the run, but then eventually we're going to throw it over you.
Lebec County returns to Lucas Field this Friday as the Grizzlies take on the Tigers of Fort Scott. Kickoff at 7 p.m. from Altamont. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming off a big win over the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. And while it was a fun day for the team and fans, it was also emotional for star defensive tackle Chris Jones. On Saturday, Jones popped up on the injury report with a non-related injury personal matter as he traveled to Mississippi to attend his aunt's funeral. Jones didn't arrive in KC until 2:40 Sunday afternoon, 45 minutes before kickoff. But despite missing warmups, he was introduced as a defensive starter and played over 65% of the defensive snaps in the win. After the game, Jones spoke about the importance of playing in the game and feeling the love from his teammates, along with Chiefs Kingdom.
I mean, it's tough. Anytime you lose a loved one or someone you love and cherish and care about, it's emotional. Emotions are everywhere. It's tough. But, being around good energy, good people, it makes you feel good. Early on in the game, you kind of wear heavy on your shoulders. But, football is my escape, where I can escape from the reality of what's really going on and just have fun, being like a kid in the backyard playing football again. Being able to feel the fun, feel the love, the energy in Arrowhead Stadium, my brothers, the fans. So, I wanted to get away from the sentimental part of it and just have fun.
We were praying for Chris, and we love him, and we're just happy to have him here, and so that we can be his brothers and support him. And I think it made guys step up and want to play even harder for him because for him to want to be back here with us and at times that he's in right now, it speaks to the brotherhood that we have in the locker room.
After the game, you kind of could feel the emotions from Chris Jones, but hearing from Patrick Mahomes talking about the brotherhood in that locker room, it really did hit home.
It's great for the team to allow Jones to navigate that in whatever way he felt he needed to emotionally.
Yeah, and they said they had a great plan in place, and he credited the locker room for understanding and being really supportive.
Very good. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. Some students in Southeast Kansas take lemons and turn them into business opportunities. We're going to have details from Lemonade Day in Girard. Plus, the Joplin Public Library hosts an adulting event for teens, and we're going to take a look at AI's role in school bus safety. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. October guaranteed will arrive tomorrow, but it's not going to feel like October.
No, it's going to feel a bit warmer than that. We're about 10 degrees above average for the rest of the week. Things start to cool down by Sunday, but you can see we've got a pretty long stretch of sunny skies. Our next chance of rain and cooler temperatures isn't until the start of next week. So we've got a pretty warm couple of days for us.
We'll get through it okay, and eventually the weather will cool down.
Yes, it will.
Final sports note.
The Royals are not in the postseason, but a couple nuggets did come out today from General Manager J.J. Piccolo. Alex Zumwalt, the heading coach, will remain in his position, and El Capitan Salvador Perez, he will be back in 2026.
He just keeps on going and going and going.
It'll be his 15th year.
Salvi forever. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.